Hey y'all, it's week 4 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. It's hosted by Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead. She's challenging us to preserve something every day in the month of August. And I've got some really easy projects for you. Pressure canning 101 basically. These are really easy recipes that you can do for pressure canning when you're just starting out. And if you want an in-depth video, let me know and I will do one, because it's really easy. Even though I was scared to death, it's not scary at all if you know the rules. So I'll go over all that. If you want a video, let me know down below in the description box. And I've got some easy projects. I did some freezing, I did some chicken, and some different marinades. Really easy, and you just take them out of the freezer and put them in the crock pot. I've got some freezer slaw. Did you know that you can put coleslaw in the freezer? I mean, it's really easy. It's not mayonnaise based, but you can add the mayonnaise after you defrost it. It's so good, and it's in the Ball Blue book. And also I did some chili, some beans, and some tomatoes, and I did all of that in the pressure canner because it was so much faster, especially the tomatoes. It only took 10 minutes. So I hope you will enjoy these videos. I hope you've enjoyed all these videos in this series this month, and I'm not done with preserving it all. I still got some room on my shelves here in my canning pantry. I've got a lot more that I want to do, so I'll be sharing a lot more projects with you. So I will turn you around and let's get started. I'm going to start off with this chili recipe. You can find it in the new Ball Blue book that's only been out a couple months. I thought this would be good. It's a really easy recipe, and plus it'd be good. You could use this on hot dogs, make chili beans, or even put it over a baked potato. And it's got just a few ingredients. It's got 5 pounds of ground beef, 2 cups of chopped onion, 1 clove of garlic, which I didn't have, 6 cups of diced canned tomatoes with the juice, half a cup of chili powder, 1½ tablespoons salt, a red chili pepper I didn't have, and 1 teaspoon cumin seeds I left out. But just brown your ground beef and rinse it really well. Brown it with the onion and just let the onion get soft about 10-15 minutes. Then add in your tomatoes. I'm in a canning group on Facebook, and they said this was really thick, so what I'm going to do is add in a can of tomato sauce to make it a little bit more runny. You could also add in some tomato juice, but I'm just going to add what I had on hand. I am halving the recipe for the chili powder. I heard another person say that it was a lot, so I'm going to try it with just half and see how I like it. Just combine everything together, and you're going to simmer it for 20 minutes, and then we'll can it. I'm also going to make some black beans, so I'm going to combine the two and can them both at the same time, since they both take 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one, show you what I did. I got 1-inch headspace, and this is going to take, like I said, 1 hour and 15 minutes. I got a little bit extra in my jar, but that way you don't have to do all that work twice, like getting it up to pressure. You got to get all that steam out, and by the time you get everything canned, and then you got to wait till the pressure comes back down. It just takes a long time, so that way you can both of these at the same time, and it just saves you so much time. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the beans now, and I have a gigantic bag of black beans that I have got to do something with, and especially because the expiration date is August the 30th, so I got to hurry up and get these all canned up. And I've also got a big bag of these, the pinto ones too, so I've got to hurry up and get that done. But I'm just halving the recipe today. But I'm just taking my beans and looking my beans. I don't know if you've ever heard that expression, but I'm just trying to get out what doesn't belong in there, see if I can find rocks or stuff or anything like that. And I got everything washed, so I covered it with 2 inches of water. You're going to bring that to a boil and boil it for 2 minutes. Remove it from the heat and let them soak for 1 hour. And then after the hour, you're going to drain them again and fill them back up with 2 more inches of water, and then you're going to cook them for 30 minutes. You're going to bring it up to a boil them gently for 30 minutes, and then they're ready to can. So all these recipes are really easy to do. I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of salt to each jar, and I'm going to fill the beans first, and I'm using a slotted spoon. That way I can just get beans. And you want to only fill them about 3/4 of the way full, because I made that mistake and filled them too full of beans, and when you go to get them out of the jar, they're nothing but a massive block of beans. So make sure you add a lot of liquid in there. I like to go maybe 3/4 beans and then 1/4 of the liquid. So this is going to take like I said, an hour and 15 minutes too. So I'm so glad that they both take the same amount of time. That way I can get them both in the canner at the same time. So this is going to be a 1/2 inch headspace, and I'm going to fill up all my jars, and then we'll be ready to go. All my jars are filled, so we're going to can them for an hour and 15 minutes. And now they're ready to take out, and I am so glad I could combine these two, because I did not want to wait 3 hours to get all this stuff done, and that's not even counting the time that you have to do all the other things just to get it up to pressure. So this was a total time saver, and I cannot wait to use these on the hot dogs, on some chili beans, over a baked potato. It's going to be so good, and these were really easy recipes. And I bought some canning tomatoes. These were the ones that were not suitable for canning, but the rest of them I just took and washed them off really good in my sink, and I put them in boiling water and took off the skins, and I cored it and cut them into quarters, and now I'm just going to can these like they are. I've just filled them to the top with water, and I'm going to bring them to a boil, and then we'll can them. And I'm going to pressure can these for 10 minutes. I've never done that before, but I don't know about you, but when I water bath can, it's like water goes everywhere. It's all over my stove, all in my floor, and it takes 45 minutes to water bath can these tomatoes. So I'm just going to do it in the pressure cooker or the pressure canner. I think it's just going to take so much less time, and I don't have to worry about all that water going everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and get these jarred up and get them in the pressure canner. So I've got 9 jars, and I've got a little bit left over. I'll put that in the refrigerator for a soup or a stew. And I did make this taco soup the other week, so I'm going to freeze that in these deli containers. I love these containers. They're so handy, and they do really good in the freezer. So I'm going to make 3 of these containers and put them in the freezer. That way we can have a quick lunch or dinner, or I can even put one in Doug's lunchbox and he can heat that up at work. So it's going to make 2 or 3 more meals. So we'll stick that in the freezer if I can find room in my freezer for it. And now the tomatoes are done. It only took 10 minutes, brought them down to pressure, and now they're done. And I like doing the tomatoes without any seasoning. That way you could make Mexican tomatoes. You could put some Italian seasoning in there and make some tomato sauce. So it's just very versatile. That way you don't have to commit to one recipe or another. So I like doing that. So now I'm going to make a freezer slaw. You are going to love this freezer slaw. It is so good. And I will have the exact recipe link down below in the description box. But it stays crispy and crunchy, and even after 6 months to a year. And all it takes is carrots, a green pepper, an onion. Also take some vinegar. I like using that rice wine vinegar. Some water, mustard seed, celery seed, and some salt. So you'll go ahead and shred up your cabbage, and you'll shred up your carrot, and cut up your green pepper and your onion, and just put it in a big bowl, and you're going to sprinkle it with the salt and let it sit for an hour. And then you'll drain it, and then you will add a dressing to it, and I'll have that link below with your vinegar and your sugar. And it says to bring it to a boil, but I would not bring it to a boil with the celery seed. I think it makes it a little bit bitter, so I would boil it and then put your celery seed in there, and you're going to let that cool. And after it cools, you'll pour that over the cabbage mixture. Mix that up really well, and then you can put it in your freezer containers, and it will last 6 months to a year, and it's so crispy. And you could even take it out, defrost it, and put some mayonnaise in it and make some slaw. And I found these chicken
their chicken thigh fillets on sale at Aldi for 50% off. So I thought, I have all these sauces from Aldi that I need to use up. So I thought, why not just make up my own little sauce, pour it over the chicken, and food save it, and that way I can just throw it in the crock pot when I need a dinner. So hopefully I can find some room in my freezer for this stuff too. So I really love putting them in the food saver bags because it's so convenient and it keeps it sealed a really long time. So I'm just mixing this up with some hoisin sauce, some soy sauce, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, just whatever I've got, with some onion and garlic powder. I'll pour the sauce over the chicken and then I'll put that in the freezer and let that get really frozen. And then I can put it in the food saver and none of that liquid will mess with the seal. So it will last in the freezer a couple years. So I'll pour that over the chicken, and I've even used buffalo sauce. That's good too. And I found this honey sesame in my pantry and it was so good. So I poured that over the other chicken, and that'll be good to put over rice and maybe make some broccoli. That was really good too. So I'm going to put that in the freezer, and you can just take that and put it in the crock pot and you'll have dinner in no time.
I hope y'all enjoyed following along this month on the Every Bit Counts Challenge, and I am not done. Even though I'm not going to try and do something every single day, I'm going to try and do at least 2 or 3 a week, and I'll get you some videos out, and I hope you enjoyed following along, and let me know if you have any kind of video that you'd like to see, whether it's pressure canning or water bath canning. Thank you, Jessica, for hosting this wonderful challenge. I hope y'all will stick around, and I'll see y'all in a new video next week.